Hey guys, Amateur Applejack here, and today, for my first ever fanfiction reading, we're going to be reading Left Behind by Gold. We're going to be reading the prologue today, and just to let you know so that you can, if you are going to follow along, it's on finfiction.net, fimfiction.net. No spaces, no hyphens, no nothing, so that's what we're reading from today, and so... and my computer wants to cooperate really quickly here. I will eventually get to there. Alright, so Prologue, the problem. Edited by Clavier. Special. It was a word that never bothered Applejack before today, but for some reason she could not get it out of her mind. She sat upon one of the many apple orchard hills watching the sunset, looking over the bare trees and baskets of apples she picked. She had worked herself to the bone trying to get every apple she could buck down from those trees. For the first time, this work, which usually brought her immense satisfaction and pride, felt worthless and unimportant. A thought had drifted into her mind, and now she couldn't get it to drift away. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was the least special of her friends. There was twilight. Any pony could see why she was special. In the last few years, her studies had made her easily one of the most powerful magicians in all of Equestria. There were few spells she had not mastered, and her wisdom and magic were often sought by other ponies. Rarity's fashion boutique. No, corrected Applejack, fashion boutiques were doing very well. Any pony who cared for fashion was falling over themselves just to get at one of her dresses. Pinkie Pie was throwing parties for all sorts of famous ponies and couldn't be happier. Her schedule was booked for months, trying to keep up with the ponies who demanded her extraordinary party planning talents. Fluttershy kept accidentally falling into success, from becoming a model to that book she wrote on animal care. Sure, it took her friends some convincing before she would actually allow it to get published, but once it was, it couldn't be more of a hit. Rainbow Dash, she had gone from being the fastest young flyer to being the fastest flyer, period. She was in the Wonderbolts, and it was rumored that in a few years she would be captain. Not to mention, in Pegasus culture, the better you were at flying, the more attractive you were. Stallions and mares alike were lining up to ask for dates or more intimate things. Applejack hated to admit it, but that was part of the problem. Ponies marveled at Twilight's intelligence, Rarity's beauty, Pinkie's sense of fun, Fluttershy's kindness, and Dash's speed and agility. How special her friends were had earned them successes, and their successes had earned them many admirers. But what did Applejack have? If she worked herself to the bone, every day, doing what she loved, what would she manage to achieve? At best, keeping the farm afloat. Maybe even having a little success with it, but she would never obtain fame and fortune like the others could. And when was the last time any pony had asked her out? When was her last kiss? A while back. She hated herself for even having this train of thought. She had never considered herself to be an envious pony, at least not until these thoughts started flowing in. She was happy for all of them, truly happy, but for the first time, she felt left behind. She didn't feel special. Now, warning, before I actually continue on with the story. My country accent, not good. Most of these accents are not going to be good, but I will try and distinguish all the little ponies. So, I guess, here we go. I guess, Applejack said to no one. I guess that's just the way it is. What's the way it is? Asked a loud voice. Applejack, surprised by the voice above, yelped. She tripped over her own hooves trying to get up and found herself lying on her back looking up at the sky. Lying in a branch above her was none other than Rainbow Dash, who was making an attempt to contain her laughter. Applejack felt her heat. Hold on. Oh god, I suck at reading. Applejack felt heat rush to her cheeks as she got back up. Rainbow Dash. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how long it took for me to sneak up on you. It was totally worth to see that. Rainbow Dash could hardly speak. She was laughing so hard. And to see you trip over yourself. Oh, Stallion, that was awesome. Applejack was not amused. Yeah, laugh it up. Rainbow Dash tried to calm herself down. Oh, come on, AJ. It was just a little prank. Unable to help herself, she began laughing even louder than before. Don't you think you're getting a little old for pranks? Asked Applejack, with more malice than she intended. She grabbed her hat off the ground and looked up at Rainbow Dash, whose laughter had stopped abruptly. Seeing Rainbow Dash's hurt face, Applejack sighed, realizing she had gone too far. She flipped her hat onto her head and spoke with a warm tone. Oh, I'm sorry, Rainbow. I guess I just had an off day. I didn't mean that at all. In a blur, Rainbow Dash was standing in front of Applejack, showing off her speed and grace. Why? What's wrong? Did something happen? Applejack almost chuckled. Rainbow Dash sure was the embodiment of loyalty. As soon as she sensed something was wrong with one of her friends, she always became very serious, ready to help. Applejack couldn't help taking a second to admire her. She stood so proud, so ready for action. Her strong wings flared as if she was ready to fly off and beat up whatever was bothering Applejack. Her friend's fierce loyalty warmed Applejack's heart. Unfortunately, her worries were not so simple. "'Tain't nothing but a few bad thoughts, Sugar Cube, but thanks for asking." She turned to start walking towards her house, but found herself face to face with Rainbow Dash again. "Bad thoughts?" asked Rainbow Dash. Applejack would never lie to her friend, but this wasn't the kind of thought she wanted to share. "I'm not sure I want to talk about it." "Come on, you can talk to me, AJ. You usually do," said Rainbow Dash. Unless your thoughts are about me." The concerned look she wore turned into a sly smile. "Say, what kind of bad thoughts are we talking about here?" Applejack snorted as her reply and moved around Rainbow Dash to hide her blush. She started walking towards her house again. I guess having all of those admirers has inflated your ego even more, huh?" "Well, I couldn't blame you for checking me out every now and then," said Rainbow Dash with her usual confidence, trotting at her side. "I am pretty sexy." Applejack grinned at how forward she was. "No, it ain't those kind of thoughts, Dash." Rainbow Dash paused, seeming like she was waiting for more. "You didn't answer my question," she said in an uncharacteristically soft voice. "Which one was that?" asked Applejack, afraid of the answer. "Were you thinking about me?" Applejack couldn't possibly tell her that she had been. What would Rainbow Dash think? Maybe one little white lie couldn't hurt. "No?" Rainbow Dash suddenly stopped at her tracks, laughing. "What?" asked Applejack, stopping to look at her. "AJ, you are the worst liar ever," she laughed out. Applejack blushed and started a quick pace back towards the house. Rainbow Dash's laughter stopped again. "Hey, alright, I'm sorry. Again!" Applejack kept walking towards the house, not bothering to look back at Dash. "Hey, hold on a minute." She was suddenly back at Applejack's side. Not Appledash's. "Applejack!" "Yeah?" she asked, with just the right amount of malice she had intended. "Will you stop for a second? Just stop for a second, will you?" Applejack sighed and stopped to look at her. "Look, I'm sorry I laughed. Something is clearly bothering you, and I want to help. Talk to me." Applejack looked into those concerned eyes, and for one second thought about telling her how she felt. But she thought, what would Rainbow think of her? Being jealous of every pony else's success? "I told you I don't want to talk about it, Dash." "Is it something I did?" "Sort of," thought Applejack. "You did nothing wrong, Dash." "But it's something about me." Applejack almost cursed. How in a question did the silent pony read her so well? Rainbow Dash seemed to know exactly what she was thinking at all times. Was there even a point in trying to hide some things from her? "Yes, you and the other Phyllis." Rainbow floated over to Applejack, landing softly in front of her. "So what is it? I promise I won't say anything." Applejack looked at her, still unsure. "Come on, it'll feel good to get it off your chest," she said, poking Applejack affectionately with her hoof. "Alright, I'll tell. But promise you won't think no worse of me after that." Rainbow Dash rolled her eyes as if to say such a thing was impossible. "Rainbow Dash, do you promise?" "Of course I wouldn't think anything worse of you," wailed Rainbow, throwing her hooves up as if it was the most obvious thing in the world. Applejack sighed. She'd been doing a lot of that, but she looked back out to the setting sun and took a deep breath. "Look, I reckon I don't know how to put this, but I'll try." You and the other fillies, well, we've all been working real hard these past few years to achieve our dreams, and y'all having a lot of success with it. Now, don't get me wrong, because I'm mighty proud of each one of you, but sometimes I feel a little left behind. Left behind? Left behind? Asked Rainbow Dash softly. Have you never considered that before? Yeah, I mean, shoot, all you are famous, and me, I'm just a farmer, Rainbow. I feel like I've been working hard all these years. Nobody works as hard as you, Rainbow Dash said softly. But all I've managed to do is keep the farm afloat. Barely. And now all y'all getting all these admirers, you know? Every pony sees how wonderful you stallions are, and each of you deserve it. I would never say otherwise, but, you know, who notices the farmer next to the Wonderbolt, or the magician, or the author? No pony, that's who. Applejack paused, pushed some dirt around with her hoof. She still had not looked at Rainbow for a reaction. She suddenly got furious at herself for having these thoughts. I know it's horrible of me to be thinking this. I've never been jealous of y'all before. Never. But I can't get the thought out of my head. That's all my friends are special, but me. I'm just not. I'm just your average, run-of-the-mill farmer. She finally looked at Rainbow Dash. She was staring at her in shock. So, started AJ awkwardly crossing her front legs. So that's what's on my mind is all. There was an awkward pause while Rainbow Dash took in this new information. AJ, I had no idea you felt this way. I didn't, she replied automatically. Well, not until today. Well, AJ, I don't know what to tell you, because you are totally 100% wrong, said Rainbow simply. Applejack huffed in disbelief. You're wrong, said Rainbow Dash, finally raising her voice to its usual level. You don't think you're special? You've got to be crazy. You, the element of honesty. You, the hardest working pony in Equestria. You, the... Rainbow Dash trailed off, seeing that she wasn't getting through to Applejack. Alright, do you think any other pony in this world could run Sweet Apple Acres? Yes, I do. Rainbow Dash gasped at her reply. Look, Rainbow, I didn't tell you all that to fish for compliments. I just told you to get it off my chest. That's how it is, alright? But it's not. Shush, Rainbow Dash. Now, if you don't mind, I gotta start getting dinner ready. Applejack marched towards her house. This time, Rainbow Dash did not follow. Alright, thought Rainbow Dash. If you don't believe me when I tell you, I'll just have to show you. The usual spontaneous and lazy Rainbow Dash had a plan. Well, guys, that's the prologue, and hopefully this video sounds great or horrible or whatever. Leave a comment, please, talking about this video. I hope you guys want more. This is probably going, maybe, because I'm totally going to be super famous one day on YouTube. This is going to be like looked back on, like, man, this guy used to suck. So yeah, so Amateur Applejack out.